Hi.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hi, everybody. Alright, so welcome to our first episode of Nomadic Flamingos. Can you stop?
No, this is what I do. Okay.
Thank you for coming to our first episode, or thank you for watching our first episode of Nomadic Flamingos. This is our first time doing this, so bear with our flaws. There's probably going to be a lot of them. Okay, so we thought the best way we could do this was to watch what you're watching and kind of tell you along the way what is going on, right? So we're just going to watch it now. Okay. So Blue Spring State Park is part of the Florida Parks system, and the first thing you'll see is that's our trail from the campground to the spring. The spring is absolutely beautiful and incredibly refreshing when it's 96. So we really enjoyed our time at Blue Spring State Park, and here you'll see just a little bit of the park.
Water is cold. No matter what you look at, it's cold.
No more running around. When I'm with you, I feel strong. Nothing else can go wrong, you'll see.
Okay, so we came here really early in the morning, and before 9 a.m. I believe the spring is open to kayakers. It's the only time where you could kayak into the spring all the way to the headwater of the spring.
Which is gorgeous, by the way.
Which is beautiful. And so you'll see a couple of kayakers swing right by us, going all the way in. And also during the winter time, the spring is absolutely full of manatees. But of course, it's too warm for them right now.
Nothing else can go wrong.
See, there goes the kayaker right there. Well, there goes two of them.
The kayakers. So here's a path that leads you all the way down the length of the spring. It's a boardwalk that runs the length of the spring, and it's really nice to just walk it and enjoy that view.
It's pretty.
When I'm with you, I feel strong. Nothing else can go wrong, you'll see.
This is the Thursby house, which is the original house. I guess part of it probably is. That was originally on the property, and the Thursby family were the settlers who developed that area and had orange groves. This part of the spring is being restored, so I'm sure that there's been some erosion on the banks, and so this is the restoration effort. At the end of the park, you could find the boat concessionaire, and there's that marina, so you can take boat tours on the St. Johns River, which is exactly the river that the spring lets out into. And also they have kayaks for rent at the concession at the end, and that's the kayak launch. Tony and I had been there last year, and we actually did that kayak launch with our own kayaks, and boy was that a trek. Not fun.
As I said before, that water, doesn't matter how hot it is, you jump in, it's cold. but it does feel good.
It should be. Life is good. Yeah, it's good for me. Life is good as it should be. Life is good. Yeah, it's good for me.
So here's Cassadaga. Cassadaga is a spiritualist town with quite a bit of history. And I'm gonna look it all up. I believe the town was settled in 1852. And here's where I told Tony not to mess with the guillotine. Don't do that, please. You're gonna hurt yourself.
Oh my God.
Don't do it.
Come on. You want me to put my head under?
No.
Why not?
Cause
Oh, it's not even real.
exactly. Y si se cae, no.
Life is good.
There's Tony walking into the bar, getting a drink.
Be.
We had Bloody Marys, which were absolutely wonderful
Yeah, they
at
were.
the Cassadaga Hotel. Before our tour, which was the Beyond the Veil tour. And you can book all these things online. This was, of course, interesting. The Beyond the Veil tour also included, I guess,
A visit from the dead.
no, I guess contact or attempted contact. And so we heard a lot of this. So we went on a tour walking through the town of Cassadaga and taking pictures of the old buildings and looking for orbs.
They told us after we were done to go back and put everything in slow motion and, you know, mess with the settings and the filters here and there, because if you really look, you'll see something.
It should be. Life is good. Yeah, it's good.
So we heard a lot of this. There was that one moment.
Anyone like to say hello? Or anyone like to welcome us to Slater House?
And yes, maybe it was just the camera focus, but I thought it was kind of cool.
You know, because they say that, you know, you can reach them through, what was it, through static, through electricity, your own electricity within, you know, you can reach out to them, or actually they can reach out to you if your electricity is strong enough.
Oh yeah. If you're all charged up, I guess.
Charged up.
Okay, so here's Hontoon Island State Park, which is an actual island on the St. Johns River. And it's beautiful and definitely worth the visit. So here's our little boat ride, because you do have to take a ferry onto the island. And our captain was terrific.
Actually a true island. We're surrounded on all four sides by either the St. Johns River or the Hontoon Dead River, which flows back. It comes out of the St. Johns about 3 miles away from here in a straight line. We used to have a fairly large shell mound right where the ranger station is now. The Indians that used to live here, that was their garbage dump. They ate a lot of snails and clams and fish. If you want to see what it looked like, the visitor center, which is right next to the Coke machine, go in and take a look at it. It's on the left side. Okay. And on the right-hand side is about a dozen and a half taxidermy animals that came from the island, died. We had a taxidermist mount them for us, no charge to come out to take them. And it's just a very interesting little visitor center.
Okay, so we rented some bicycles at the, what would you call that? At the store. We rented some bicycles and we took some trails that there are. The whole island has trails that are easily traversed with these cruiser bikes. So we had a lot of fun. It was especially fun for me because I hadn't been on a bike in over a year. So this has been fantastic.
There are little shady areas when you're riding through, but for the most part, it's pretty gruesome.
So at the end of the bike trail, one of the bike trails, you get to the St. John's River, and every one of the bike trails has a bench at the end so you could sit down and relax. And it was beautiful and an actual cool spot in that, baking sun.
There are shady spots that you can take advantage of when you're on it. You just gotta, when you're doing the trail, what parts open up more, which obviously will get shady.
So at the end of one of the trails, there is, one of the bike trails, there's a foot trail that you can go to and get to a midden, it's called, which is a
Dump site.
well, that's what I kept saying jokingly, but it is a Indian shell mound, which is a dump. That's exactly where they would toss their shells, and they created these gigantic mounds. This is probably the biggest one I've ever been on. It was substantial. The height was high, right?
Yeah, it was pretty high. I mean, the cool thing about it is that each layer you can see based on, it gives you the time frames of, what would be, there's different types of shells as you go up in time. So it tells you, what they were doing and how long ago it was. Those are pretty interesting.
Oh, and we did see a couple snakes. Not one, but two. We saw one ground snake and we saw one water moccasin at the end of another trail that was actually in the water.
But it was cool. We didn't get in the water.
Say it's time to go. Hey mama, what's the matter with you? Hey papa, what's the matter with you? Hey mama, I say it's time to go.
We saw some friends on the way out.
So at the end of the trail when we were coming back, there were probably the most turkey vultures I've seen next to each other that absolutely do not move when you get near them.
Like my hands on the way from the big drum. So I beat hard on it till it goes numb. Then I go. Hey mama, what's the matter with you? Hey papa, what's the matter with you? Hey mama, I say it's time to go. Hey mama, what's the matter with you?
The visitor center in Hontoon Island is air conditioned. So it's a really nice place to go after you sweat your booty off.
Gives you a little breakdown of all the history of the island and all the settlers and all of the artifacts that they had dug up and found while they were there excavating.
We really enjoyed downtown Deland. It has been going through a revitalization, and so there's lots of beautiful little shops and restaurants, and there was a pride event going on. So Pat and Tony's sweetbreads. Oh my gosh, everything that you can imagine, every type of confection, every type of fudge, every type of candy. Amazing.
As usual, I just walked in and I shut down because it's just an overload.
So we had lunch at Half Wall. Half Wall is also a brewery, I believe. Delicious burgers. Fantastic.
Yeah, it was.
We're gonna finish this off with the Athens Theater. The Athens Theater was a cute little theater at the end of the street, and right at the corner of the Volusia County Courthouse and everything. It was right at the end of the street. It's a historic site, super cute, and
lots of live music there. They had signs of Stones tribute band played there the night before we got in, and then the That the other night was an Eagles tribute band.
Well, guys, thank you for tuning in. Bear with us. Like I said, I know we will get better at this. This is our first one. So we're just kind of getting the hang of this.
See you guys next time.
Hey!